Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Base Damage. Hope you're all doing well today. I have several wonderful guests here today that we're going to talk about with Rosemont about. So here we go. Down the list, we have Audri, your resident horse girl expert.
Hello?
Hello. We have new peoples to the Discord. We have Ben. And we it kind of came through quiet, but it's all good. I think it picked up. And we have Tony, also known as the Weiss King.
Hello.
Oh, wow. Hope y'all are all doing great. I know people were having to rush home in traffic and stuff, so we apologize for any accidents that happen on the road because of podcast episodes. But no.
Thankfully, Ben and I live in rural Indiana where if two cars are close to each other, it's a traffic jam.
You're not wrong. Like, okay, coming from a previous trucker, that is the truest thing I've heard all day. 100%. Like, oh my goodness.
My drive is on an empty interstate for 45 minutes, so.
Gotcha. Oh my goodness. That's... I know the exact highway y'all had to take and everything, too. It's... Oh, man. Anyway, trucking woes aside, Rosemont happened. We're going to be talking about that today. So a couple things happened the weekend that this also happened with Malaysia. I guess I'll touch up on for just a half second, in which they didn't have enough players to actually do teams. They had to do singles. The deck lists for that are not up just yet. I mean, you can see what won, but I want to take a look at some of these deck lists, so that will go into more detail another day. But these three were a team in Rosemont, and we're going to just see how everything went with them today and just kind of yap about whatever the hell we want to yap about, basically. Mainly Weiss, but we'll go off on tangents. There was like a 30-45 minute tangent before this about graded cards and all sorts of other stuff. So the top, let's just kind of look over the top three real quick here. So for Rosemont, we had first place was Hololive, Chloe Marine, Azure Lane, Bremerton, Shinano, and Bunny Girl Senpai 8 Door. So basically, I'm fairly certain everybody knows what those are for the most part, unless you don't know like some of the Azure cards for like the Shinano setup, like cats. It involves cats. Exactly. Second place, Bunny Girl, Chloe Marine, and Miku.
Girl, yeah.
All right, so okay, I'm back at Rosemont. All right, so second was 8 Door, Chloe Marine, Miku. Third place was Chainsaw Man, Himeno Aki, 8 Door Bunny Girl, and Ayakashi 8 Standby. Haven't seen that for a minute. Fourth place, Bunny Girl, Nikkei, Modernia Biscuit, which is what people have like settled on apparently for Nikkei, and 7 Deadly Sins Hendrickson. I was kind of surprised at like how much, because I remember when like Nikkei was like first like coming out, everyone was like, oh yeah, the Casino Rabbits, the Dorothy, and I'm like, okay, cool. What's this Standby Modernia build? Like, what the heck is this? And just it's now the thing everybody does.
I'm not a big fan of the biscuit, but it seems like by far the most consistent of all the decks. The Dorothy, the Bar, those are extremely inconsistent. When they go off, yeah, you kill your opponent from level 1.
Yeah.
But if they don't go off, you just die horribly.
Yeah, I just remember like when it was announced and we were getting like the card of the day, the card of the day announcements and stuff like that. There were like people basically saying, "Oh, the Nikkei Armageddon is like on the horizon," and I'm like,
did you happen to see where Bushiroad posted the deck diversity?
No, I did not see.
It's on the Bushiroad Events Discord. They did a pie chart. And Nikkei and Mai were like most of the room.
Yeah,
on most teams.
That's what I figured. So
I would say Nikkei was number 1. So I'd say Nikkei the Apocalypse did happen.
It did, just not the way we were thinking. Not the Casino Rabbits builds that everyone was like, oh, yeah, everything.
The Modernia is a really, really, really freaking good card.
It is.
The Modernia is just plain stupid. The rest of the early and mid game is nowhere near as good as we thought it would be, and so the shot bar deck doesn't work as well as we thought it would be great. Triggering and getting okay, this has 4 shots that do 3 burns each, but getting there became a problem. Whereas Biscuit and Dorothy are so freaking easy to get going with Modernia starting them that became the easy way to kill people.
I'm gonna quote.
Now,
Mhm.
now something to throw out also.
Okay.
You know, with teams, you're bringing what you have.
True.
You're bringing what you own. And Bushiroad did put out 50 tournaments with a $1,500 card for prize that you have to play Nikkei for.
Yeah, I participated in one, so
that put a lot of people going out and buying decks.
that's very fair. So it's like, hey, there's a lot of these just floating around, so that's very fair. And like you said, if they got it, it's like, okay, I've also, especially also, if they've been practicing for like the Meister Cups and they play nothing but Nikkei for the Meister, and it's like, oh, this is what I'm already used to because I've been playing nothing but this. Like, I'm not gonna fault anybody from being like, yeah, I'm gonna rock this. So,
yep,
that's
kind of what surprised me is I don't think I saw a single slime deck.
I don't think it was in the top 8, but you're saying like even outside of that?
Yeah,
Nope.
I don't think I saw any on Sunday.
Me
and
double checking.
honestly, I don't remember any Ninos. I know Nino was there because it was like it was right after Mile on the representation chart, but I don't remember seeing any.
Yeah, even in the top 8, there's no, like I said, no slime, and there's the one quintuplet says Miku. Like, that's it.
Well,
Right.
Slime,
Well,
I mean,
that
people
Miku
don't
player has been playing Miku since set 1 in Japanese, and he has thousands of dollars in Miku foils, thousands of dollars in Miku figures, thousands of dollars in Miku merch, and he doesn't have the Miku tattoo yet, but, give him time.
Yeah, keyword yet. Like, 100% there. Huh.
Well, speaking on the slime thing, English players don't like to play anything that they see as gimped. And I mean, slime is not gimped; it's still an extremely strong deck. But as long as the second that lost the 1-0 Yome, everybody just completely lost their biscuit on it because oh no, I can't just easily cheat myself to 2 at the same time as getting the 2/1 in my hand. Whereas things like 8-door Bunny is face roll easy. Modernia Biscuit face roll easy. Hendrickson Elizabeth 7 Deadly Sins face roll easy.
8 Standby Nino, like all of it was already sitting there.
Nino, these are literally all face roll decks. But without the Yome, Slime gets a tiny bit of thought required. And so everybody dumped it because Slime doesn't kill from 2-1 or 2-2.
We're asking
everybody
people
dumped
to
it for
think.
decks that do kill from 2-1 or 2-2.
Well, I'm going to defend the world here a little bit. 6-round tourney, travel time, big event. Why play something gimped when you could play the real meta stomper?
I like how you said, I'm going to defend the world, and my first thought was, Dio doesn't need any defending. Let's be real. No, you're good. Sorry.
Well, I mean, if we're being real, Slime isn't even gimped losing to Yome.
He isn't.
I don't
it
think
is.
That gimped either, but the perception is that it is. Therefore, you might as well just take my if you've got it.
Pretty much.
Well, everybody would rather just, unlike in Japan, everybody wants to kill for 2-1, 2-2.
Yeah.
Japan has that a lot more than it used to, but
Kreisingura.
They still prefer the slow game for the most part compared to English.
They do.
It was more just a surprise that nobody really had hung on to it.
True.
Well, why give your opponent a chance at 3 when you can kill them at 2?
Because, like, if I go back up a little bit,
you're gonna find out tonight you're gonna find as I do my reports. That's gonna be a major factor in what I talk about tonight in my reports.
No, that's very fair. I'm looking back up because I know I've seen some slime. Okay. There was in Mexico City. Once again, Mexico City, like you said, they're on some cooking stuff. There was one there. Let's look back up here. Nothing in Germany because theirs was just the 13 teams. That didn't do like a top 8 cut or whatever. I want to say Long Beach had one. Am I misremembering? Scroll. Nope. Okay, no. No, there was. Okay, 8th place. It was only 8th place, but so when only 2 have shown up in all of the top cuts, yeah, it's kind of like telling of like the mindsets at that point, most definitely.
Now, Chicago. Now, what's interesting that makes Chicago even more interesting? Chicago was the hub of slime play.
Yeah. No, I mean, fucking
everybody in Chicago, but had slime.
what was his? I can't think of his name, and I feel really bad.
Clinton Chan?
Clinton Chan. Yeah, Clinton was like on slime for the longest while before and after it got hit.
And he's the main player at his locals, and they have a very large local, so all those players saw Clinton doing very well with it, so they bought slime too.
Yeah.
And or they got introduced to the show and they enjoyed it, so they also bought slime. Yeah, you would walk into it. There were some English events like shop challenges and stuff. We'd go visit their stores, and like half the room is slime, and it's like, oh my god.
I mean, it's a great show.
Everybody also owns Hendy. Everybody also owns How Alive. Everybody bought Bunny Girl, so.
Me sliding my Hall Alive decks.
Flavor of the month until we get a set 4 that makes slime overpowered again.
So I'm already holding on to stuff. The day that it does happen, I have stuff ready to go. B, stuff ready to sell. If it does, I'm sitting on gold ready to go. But it's like, y'all.
If they have slime 4, somebody will need to do a safety check on me.
We couldn't hear both of y'all at the same time. Sorry. Well, you're good. It just was going at the same time. So Audrey, go ahead, and then Tony.
All right. Sorry, I just said if slime gets a set 4, you see people are going to have to do safety checks on me.
Okay. And Tony?
I have multiple full English slime trial decks. So,
there we go.
It's worth like $60-$70 right now. So
there you go. See,
if it never comes back, just sell those.
He gets it. He's sitting on those Rimuru level 0s. Oh God, I sold those for like $40 to $50 a pop. Anyway, but anyway, so that is an interesting thing to point out, though. Like I said, not really showing up. Anything else y'all like saw or didn't see? Like I will get into the individual matches in a little bit here, but any other interesting observations?
I didn't see any Nino.
No,
I know it was there based on that report, but I didn't see any.
None whatsoever. Nino found in a ditch.
It was everywhere. We just didn't see it on our team.
There you go.
Well, I didn't see it at like tables beside me and stuff because I talked to everybody around us. You know that.
The one Miku guy was like going around sniping all of the Nino people just out of spite.
Yeah, I saw.
If he did, he would have happily told us about it.
Fair.
Yeah, walking around, I saw at least one other Miku. I saw at least one Ichika. I saw a couple Ichis, and I saw at least 3 different Ninos.
Okay.
But
they were just on your sides of the because me and Tony are on opposite ends, so they were just on his side.
Walking around, that was not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Which I am actually going to write stuff down in a second here as we go across like each of the rounds here. Basically, I'm just gonna I'm writing it down for my own sake. Just kind of like getting a visual here is kind of helpful because it's one thing when y'all like list them off. I'm gonna like write them down as like, okay, what their pairings and stuff were.
Okay.
Just because I want to see it for just like my own little breakdown here, and not me breaking down.
While you're writing stuff down, before the tournament started,
okay.
I had my first big disappointment. Walked over to the Bushy Road booth to pick up my Ruby promo.
Oh.
Now I didn't buy that card in Japanese because it was in English, and I love the card art on it, so I just wanted it for personal collection.
Okay.
I wasn't even gonna flip it like I did the Bridget's, but sure enough, Bushy Road ran out on Saturday. They didn't bring enough.
That's wild, actually.
Yeah, I have to redeem the card at this event, unless I go to another team somewhere else in the country, which I'm not doing. And they ran out of them on Saturday.
If you're out there
and you're playing the if you qualified for that card, make sure you get it on Saturday because it might not be there, and make sure you get it Saturday morning.
Gotcha. So everybody be there as soon as doors open up. So.
Yep.
Yeah, and check your app, your Bushi Navi, a week ahead of time because I had 9 English events completed, but I didn't have the. For some reason I didn't have the title, and it takes at least 3 or 4 days going through calling and emailing Bushi to get the title if you didn't get it automatically for some stupid reason. So that's the second time I've had to deal with that, but this time I didn't catch it in time, so I didn't even get my my 8. Which one was it this time? 8-star.
Yep.
Yeah, 8-star wonder promo.
Now, Bushiroad's response was their typical loveliness. Well, we'll email you if we could do something about it.
Yeah, meaning, sorry, take a check. We might get. Don't call us. We'll call you. Like
Yeah.
Typical response. Like
It'll just go on the list of tournament promos Bushiroad owes me for the years. I think I'm up to like 10 now.
We got to see. We got to like sit down with like one of the big honchos and just be like, all right, you be like the Godfather, just sit there, you have a debt that you haven't paid me yet. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
I love the idea.
Okay. I was sort of the season they did the what's her name from Day Day Live, Kurumi's for the shop challenges.
Yeah,
I qualified for 3 of them and I never got one of them.
How many did I qualify for? 2, and I didn't get any of them.
Yeah.
I understand.
While we're talking about pre-tournament, my only good day was Saturday. I wiped the floor with everybody in the single elim tournament with the deck that I should have played in trios. I played Miku, went 3-0 easily, destroyed all of my opponents with it.
Oh, they had a separate event on Saturday.
They had side events where you played in single elimination tournaments for a special promo
that
you could only get through the. Yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Weiss was on Saturday. Single elim, you play 3 rounds. If you go 3-0, you get a special like foil version of the promo.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And yeah, Miku just did Miku things, and I just steamrolled 3 people in a row, unfortunately for them.
And he got the promo. They had enough of those.
Yep.
I'd love to do that with like Darkness or something. It'd be hilarious. Oh man. No, I joke about that from like Duluth last year. I go in with like Meta Hololive and just like get my ass handed to me. I go over to the side event of like, play the games to get promos and stuff. Just jokingly was like, I'll just bring out Konosuba Darkness waifu and just like go undefeated for like 6 games. I'm like, what?
Darkness waifu in a restricted format is really freaking good, though.
Apparently, like
if you're not playing against some meta decks, she can just sit there and just, oh, look at you, you're 10k, 11k, screw you.
Like I didn't even have most of the meta stuff. I didn't have the aqua stock swaps or anything of that, like any of the crazy stuff. I got that later, and I'm just like just the most bare bones budget dankness, like. Anyway, this is last year. It's whatever. But no, you're right. It was fun. So, anyway, any other? So you were saying you had shown up the day before Miku doing Miku things. Any other pre-tournament stuff before we get into discussing the rounds?
The room was a lot bigger than normal, which was really nice.
Nice. The fire department was happy.
It was actually fairly similar. There was a graduation on where we normally are.
VTuber graduation.
It felt bigger because they didn't have as many tables. There was more space between the tables.
Oh, okay.
So it actually felt bigger than it usually is.
Okay, that's fair.
Like we actually had room to like walk. Like 2 people side by side between tables.
Yeah, okay. I also wasn't bumping into anybody sitting down, which was back to back, which was kind of nice.
Yeah, we kind of had a little bit of that at Tampa. It wasn't the worst in the world, but definitely was like some between table, not like on the ends or anything, but like between. You had a little bit of like squeezing past, which would have really sucked if we were still talking about
lucky getting on the
I'm not claustrophobic, but there have been times at Bushiroad English events I thought I was starting to become claustrophobic.
That's very fair.
Not quite as bad as 2019 at WGP Nationals in Rochester, but yeah. We don't need to talk about that anymore.
Those was dark times. Luckily, I hadn't gone back then. No, okay. So I guess this is where we're going to go into the round breakdown. To keep one person from yapping every single game, we're just going to go round by round. Each person's going to give their breakdown for that round. if they remember it. If not, it's totally cool. We don't judge. I have shite memory as well. I forget videos that I record. Like things that I said in videos are recorded like 30 minutes prior. And I'm like, huh? So, how many rounds were there in general?
6.
It was 6. Okay, cool. I had to write that down.
Yep.
And we'll just go down in order of where you see the mouse on the screen. We'll go Audri, then we'll go Ben, and then we'll go Tony for each one, just because it's easier to show that way. So we will start, as we always do, with round 3. Wait, huh? What? No, round 1. No, so for this, like I said, if you can remember. One, I realized we didn't say what each person was playing. I will kind of, for this one, state what you were playing first, and I'll show on screen and everything as that happens. And then, obviously, if you can remember what you were playing against, if you remember, anything specific about the games, or whatever you feel about saying for those individual games, feel free to discuss, and we shall move through this in a promptly fashion. Here's hoping. So, round 1 with Audri.
All right, round 1. Sit down. I play a lovely young lady. We're both playing Oshinoko.
Ah, yes, the mirror match.
She's playing Kant's Door.
Okay.
The Ruby memory build. My list is kind of a rogue. I play Door with level 0. What's her name? And level 3 Kana.
Oshinoko co-players be like, oh, gasp. No, you're good.
There is no level 1 combo. Basically, it runs off of the Dual Laners combo, but generally I put 3 of them out there, and I say I dare people to take out my 3 9/5 Akanes. It works off of an engine where one girl gives the 1055 Akane plus 2,000 in a soul. So you put 2 in the back row, your Akane is a 953 soul. Let's go.
You submitted this for a Community Fridays thing, if
yes,
I remember correctly. Okay.
The exact list I submitted for the Community Friday.
I'm like, wait a minute, this is triggering. Hold on, I say triggering, but like this is like I remember.
If he provides a little note thing in the comments or something, you can click on that and watch the video and find out kind of what's going on with it.
Pretty much.
I took it to solos before, and that's where that video came from.
Okay.
This went a little differently. Some things didn't fall in my favor, so stuff was exposed a little more. And now going back to the matchup, instead of me just straying off, I'll go back to the stray off stuff later. But this matchup in particular, I've played it a dozen times.
Okay.
The person who played Hololive and finished on the second place team, he is also a huge Oshinoko fan. He is, and that is the deck he rode until set 2 came out. And so basically in this matchup, whoever gets the 3 first wins.
Gotcha.
She can't survive my Kanas. I can't survive. I have all my level 3s are into memory, so I'm getting 2 cards put in a clock every time unless she hits a climax. And my particular build only had 5 events in it, so there was a lot of places for her just to hit. And basically, the story of goats from 2 to dead, which is going to be a very common story. So the game went really well, I think, for both of us.
Okay.
I swing big, and that put me behind early. But then, because she triple canceled a few times and caught back up when things were better. And basically, I swung for 5. It stuck. She went to 3 and killed me.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Weiss things.
Weiss things do happen, and you'll have examples of like, okay, cool. I know if I can push myself to 3, I'm going to kill you this turn. Insert.
Well, Oshinoko doesn't do that because you have to have your eye reversed to clock yourself.
Oh, okay.
And yes, that was a factor. I forget which game it was, but that definitely happened. It's like I need to get the 3 and I can't because I don't have a real Ricky.
Gotcha. You didn't pull a Jose during Worlds and was like, no, I'm gonna deal 3 damage to myself or however much he did.
I might have considered it in that game because I knew what was gonna happen.
That's fair. Okay.
I had 3 Kanas at a climax in hand ready to go. So
like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. No.
yep. I've got this. Oh, I don't got this.
I don't got this anymore, Dave.
So see, I was the loss for the team this round.
Okay. So sadly, a L there. Alrighty then. So
Not gonna be the last L.
not gonna be the last one. Okay. Very fair. All right. So moving on to Ben for your round 1.
Okay. I've been running I was running 8 standby Hololive.
Yeah.
With a which is based on a 5th gen deck. So mostly focusing on Polka and Nene instead of the more meta builds that you see.
So they watch you whip, then they watch you Nene.
Yeah, they watch me Nene, and Nene is hit or miss.
I got you.
She's not the most consistent end game that you can have.
Hololive just suffers from like there's so many different things you could pick. Like
yeah, there's so many good decks, and so I picked this instead.
It's the epitome of like suffering from success, right? I don't know. I mean, but
yeah, you could build lots of good decks. This is a good deck, but it's not a top tier meta sort of deck.
It's not freaking Chloe Maureen showing up and just like, cool, I just destroy you type, or Gura, like, anyway, I got you. No, I think it's cool. I've seen like a version of the deck and I'm kind of like, I kind of like it. I vibe with it, but anyway.
Yeah, we've just been playing so long. I just don't care about being competitive anymore.
That's fair.
To be honest. So it's just like, I like this deck. It's fun to play. Let me roll with this.
See,
the other deck
I like
I was
that though.
Planning to play kind of wasn't panning out so well.
What was your
so
other?
It's just like, I'll roll with this.
What was your other contemplation?
I have a Review Starlight deck.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, they got a whole bunch of stuff, so I mean, that's fair.
It's I ran it for solos.
Mm-hmm.
At the last big regional one.
Okay.
But I made some upgrades to it, and I just wasn't feeling as good about it. Just
didn't like. I get that because I've done that, like going up to like certain tournaments. Like, okay, do I run this? Do I run that? I don't know. Like, I get it.
Well, I was trying to fix kind of a hole in the deck, but sometimes when you fix one hole, you open up a different hole.
Sitting there, the boat's sinking. You don't have enough fingers to plug all the holes. I got you.
Yeah, I mean, and it is an underpowered set by it's not a modern set really. So,
got you. No, that's fair. That's fair. Anyway,
yeah. So I ran up against JoJo.
Ooh, okay, already spicy.
Yeah, I honestly don't really remember exactly what he was doing. It was something yellow. Maybe yellow-green, but I don't remember.
They don't have do they? You probably saw one of the stands that looked green, because I don't think they have green.
That's very possible.
I'm trying to remember if JoJo has green or not, and it may, and I just don't remember, but it's all good. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, there's definitely some like Dio and some other stuff in there.
I can hear Desmond yelling at me already. Now you're good.
Yeah, I've watched some JoJo, but not like a whole lot of it. So it's kind of I know kind of what's going on there, but not exactly.
You know the memes, so I mean, as long as you know the memes, that's all that matters. You can work.
Yeah, I know some of the memes.
There you go. Okay, no, this is a spicy matchup, like, already. Like, knowing what I know of Hololive and then going versus JoJo, this had to have been interesting. But anyway, sorry, carry on.
Well, with Nene, it kind of comes down to, do I get enough turns to build up my level 3s early?
Fair.
Because once I hit 1, I'm standbying out the level 2 changer. And the more turns I get to do that, then I get more damage scries.
Huh.
So.
Okay.
So I'm kind of memory compressing, plus I'm damage scrying. and it gets hard to kill me that way.
They got to work for it. I got you.
Yeah, even though Nene is kind of inconsistent herself.
That's no problem. But all right, so how did this turn out?
I ended up winning it.
Hey.
I can't remember exactly how this one went.
It's all good.
But I'm pretty sure it was relatively close because we were waiting on my game to finish.
Okay.
To see who would be the winner for the teams.
Gotcha. Okay. Which, hey, that's very fair.
But I do kind of like defensive decks a bit, which is hard in today's Weiss. But so my games tend to run a little bit longer usually.
It's a brave strategy nowadays with double loss looming over people's heads. So.
Yeah, like I said, my average game I get 5 or 6 cards in memory, so I get some compression that way.
Yeah.
And then the level 3, each level 3 Nene I have in the front row gets a damage scry.
And it's just like, cool, I'm gonna keep checking, I'm gonna keep canceling, and just, I got you.
Yep.
Alrighty, so we have a win there. All right, so moving on to Tony, if you are not, okay, you're good. I'm keeping an eye on like when you have to mute and whatnot, so you're good.
No, I'm listening to you guys while I'm playing the Uma Musume game. So
hey, fair. I was doing that this morning. I got you.
So yeah,
future gotcha cast. Anyway,
I was on Bar Door Bochi.
The Glock.
And I got to say the most important thing that nobody said yet is that our team name was Give Me Horse Girls or We Riot.
Oh, yeah, no. I actually forgot that completely. I remember Audri sharing that, though.
We all had Uma Musume playmats, sleeves, etc. Being salty that we can't play it in English for this. Although that would have been a problem because all three of us couldn't play it in English if it was there for that.
Yeah, you can't all do it at the same time. Nature of teams.
But yeah,
I've added that subtext.
Yeah, we get into the match. I was playing against Blue Archive. It's really a deck I haven't been impressed with all that much yet in JP or English.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one with the choice early play level 3 combo. It's basically it's Kanata but without the helmet and without the early play condition, without the counter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't. The deck doesn't do anything. I mean, you know, level 1 you got a salvage combo. At level 2, you know, you get one of these out with what was the card that it's the back row, the assist. I think you pay 3 stock and you play one of these early plays, and then it's one of the cards that on play you can play another copy of itself.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
That's all well and good, but the entire game I'm just crashing into it and letting him swing for 4s and 5s and just canceling. I mean, you know, sure, he's getting his climax combos, he's getting his searches and his stock and everything, but I'm canceling everything when he's swinging for 4s and 5s, so it doesn't really matter to me, especially when I'm playing Bochi, and for once in my life, bars are not the bane of my existence. They're not ending up all the way down to the bottom of my stock.
Blind stocking for days.
Yeah, I mean, I just played a typical 1k1 versus basically 1k1 versus standby deck is what I did, and I kept canceling all of the 4s and 5s. I was doing my game plan. I was getting out my free healer a couple times at level 2 for the you sack the Bochi, the one that's on reverse, look at top 3, add a character, and it's a stock bomb.
Yeah.
And that to get my healer out early. I managed to kill his Hifumis like one every turn for like 2-3 turns in a row fairly easily. I mean, you don't have the 3k counter on the you're not really keeping it alive very well.
You're gonna die.
So, and then yeah, at the end it just has the ditch 2 to Icy Tail to kill me. I mean, ditch 2 to Icy Tail is great and all, but that's expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like 3.5 for stock is basically how you compare ditch 2 cards, and he was able to get one of those off, and it didn't matter. Okay, burn me one.
It's like you're expending so much hand to be like, okay, cool, do nothing.
Yeah, I do remember part of the end of this one because I actually messed up. I tried to play it like Marine, but my end game is technically not Marine. It's at the end of this card's attack, so...
Yeah, it's like two steps.
Yeah, I got double combo, killed it. This was probably one of the easier games of the day for me. It's Kanata with not enough stuff, or Ichigo with not enough stuff, basically, and yeah, pretty much all that happened.
Gotcha. So we have this round for the team is an overall win, round 1. So
yep.
Gotcha. All right. So moving on to round 2, for Audri, for your round 2.
Round 2 for the entire team was a smack back into reality.
Oh, there goes gravity.
We're 1-0. I'm kind of working my wounds from the beating, but it's like, okay, we're 1-0. We're on a roll. We're on a roll.
Well, to go with your meme game,
we got weirdly reminded that we were playing low tier decks.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry. Audri.
What was that?
I'm sorry. I changed meme. I actually did have spaghetti on my shirt that day.
I appreciate you on that one. So, completing the Eminem reference. Alrighty. Alright, sorry. Carry on, Audri.
That's okay. So, we sit down, and we had 3 gentlemen who were very determined to try to do their best to win for the day. I sat across from mine. And what was funny is my opponent said, I'm toast. And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, I know how many zeros he's playing. If Kana lights, he's toast.
Yeah.
Well, we have a very good back and forth game. Both of us are pretty climax screwed. So we're both doing, well, I am, which is pushing me, but, he would take a single shot of like 5 and then cancel the other 2, because one of the things about my deck is it works like a +2 soul combat.
Yeah.
I'm swinging for 4s and 5s every turn. So you live by the 2 soul, you die by the 2 soul.
Yeah.
So there were triple canceled, which was like, my cancel rate was decent, I thought, but again, stuck a big attack. He goes to 3. 3 Mize come down on the board after some shenanigans, and I think I went 2-4 to dead.
Dedge, just, which I know you said that was going to be the recurring theme today.
Again, with 3 Kanas and a climax in hand.
Okay. Well, once again, you're just sitting there like chomping at the bit, like I'm ready, and then just
didn't play. Yeah, I have yet to notice 2 games. I've yet to play a Kana. That's gonna be the theme here.
Kana crying over to the side, just the sad music playing. Okay.
Oh no, knowing Kana, she's stomping around having a hissy fit.
Yeah, no, that's actually way more accurate. So
that was my wonderful adventure against meta.
just from like mirror match, I say mirror match, but like set match to, oh look, I get to just deal with meta today. Okay. All right.
Thanks, guys, for winning your matchup and putting me against a good person now.
It's like I don't want to be seat 1 or whatever. I forget what. Actually, no. I
was seat C actually.
You were C.
Yep.
Who was okay?
Tony was A, Ben was B.
Okay. So I'm kind of going in reverse order here, but whatever. We'll just have to deal with it.
Okay.
It is no issue. I didn't think about it till just now. All right. So then moving on to Ben for your round 2.
Yeah, I got we were playing team meta guys.
Just
and
okay.
I ended up facing the Nikkei meta guy.
Ah, fun.
Yeah.
JoJo to Nikkei is a hell of a jump there.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a difficulty scaling thing. It was a really close game. Mm-hmm. I think I got him to 3-6.
Ooh, okay.
It's just Nene was actually going well that round, if I remember correctly. So that's how I got him there, but just the last one didn't get through.
Ah, damn.
And then, Meta decks are meta decks for a reason.
It do what it do. Got you. All right, so that is 2 L's so far.
Yep.
Gotcha. All right, so then Tony for your round 2.
Yeah. This is a team that we went against that was in top 8.
Okay.
They were top 8?
Yeah, they topped 8.
Yeah, they got
I didn't know
8.
that. Okay.
Yeah. I got the Hendy. I know how to play against Hendy. It's the easiest face roll deck you'll ever see in your life. I play it myself.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was not doing well. I mean, he never got Meliodas' out once in the entire game.
Oh.
He never played an early play healer, but it didn't matter. Just Hendy came out, and I think this was the game I ate 12 straight.
What?
I think this was the game that I ate 12 straight when I had 6 in deck.
Oh, that hurts.
He didn't remove any climaxes off my deck with Hendy. He just damage just stuck, and I just died even while I actually had, remember correctly, double combo bar in hand. I had the early play healer, and I had the Kita, the buffer, or the 1500 all. She's in the center stage on the stage.
Yeah.
And I had one of my level 1 combos on, and it just
didn't
said matter. No. I just died. I looked at my deck, and there were 6 climaxes in there in the last 20 cards, 18 cards, something like that. Got Weiss basically.
Weiss do happen.
I'm not saying he was a bad player, but he just couldn't find his mellies. I remember when he was at level 1, I was looking at his waiting room to look for his Meliodases. I saw one in the waiting room, 2 in clock. So I'm like, oh, okay, he's not going to be able to get a game going. Well, it doesn't matter. 2 Liz's in the back row, 1 Liz in the front, slam a stock soul. I've been on record throughout my group that Liz, the level 0 brainstorm, is one of the most broken cards in all of Weiss, but it'll never be restricted because you kind of can't. So.
Yeah, it's a very, very nasty combo, and
it's too good in too many ways and throughout the entire game. But the simplicity of it'll never be restricted.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's Weiss. There's things that I could have done at level 2 to kind of thin out my deck a little bit, and I just didn't. So.
Gotcha.
Or I should say level 1, because I went from 2 to dead. So.
It was like, well, I didn't get a chance to plan out the rest of it, so no, I got you.
Yeah.
No, that's
that's the great part about Weiss these days. Half the time you don't even get to see your endgame.
Yeah, once again, cries and Gura. I understand. That actually happened to me a good bit, like at Tampa. Either because I decided to run Gura, obviously restricted version, but like it's like if an Oshinoko deck didn't push me from 2 to dead, or Guilty Gear pushed me from 2 to dead, I was pushing them from 2 to dead. So I get that. Like, so. Fun days.
Yeah, I feel like if I had been playing Miku, he wouldn't have been able to hit that much damage because I would have compressed so much harder with 5 markers, 7 stock.
This wouldn't happen if I was using Quents. Said every slime player. No, you're good. No.
God, I'm outside of Clinton Chan. I'm the god of slime players.
We need to have this showdown now. We need to have this showdown on stream one day. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, dude, it already happened multiple times in top 8.
Oh, it has. Oh, okay.
Yeah, me slime, Tim slime. It's just, Clinton Chan at locals, he kicks the crap out of me because he's a better player than me. At regionals, he sacks me like crazy in top 8.
It's like. Sweating, proceeds to still cancel. Oh, thank God. I'm sorry?
No, I'm pretty sure that Audrey and I taught Clinton to play.
Yes. We didn't teach him the foundational. We taught him the how to play slightly better. He knew it. He knew the game rules because what had happened. Basically, they didn't have a store in Chicago yet, and we were starting out. So they came to visit us, and they were playing trial decks and stuff like that. And well, Clinton definitely proceeded to do a lot better than just playing a trial deck.
Gotcha. No, okay, that checks out.
I remember sitting down with him and going over the things like push up characters if you have an open spot in the front row. It's just the basic stuff that totally not be terrible. I mean, I don't want to take any credit for how great he is. He's done that on his own. He's shown me how great he is in Top Cuts before. So
this is where you pull a Steve.
Him, but little tidbit of history. Vincent Blasco, him, and Matthew Broderick all were kind of my locals until they got their own store because they got tired of driving to us because we were like 2 hours south.
Oh, this is where you pull a Steve and take credit for trees. Anyway, so go ahead.
Yeah, kind of just a joke because they used to come down to play with us before they got their own place.
I remember back in the good old days. No, you're good.
Yeah, those were the good old days.
Literally half the people in these locals, or that used to be in these locals, are Weiss boomers. So started 2011, 2012, 2013.
That's totally fine. We approve of. So
we are the old people of Weiss.
Okay, boomer.
Okay, boomer. Proceeds to drop Senzawa clip. Now I can say cries in Senzawa and it worked.
Senzawa? Don't you mean Saba?
Saba, yeah. I was like, wait a minute.
I'm not supposed to say that.
Oh no. Oh yeah. Sorry, Cover Corp. Don't come after us. Oh no, you're good. All right. So let's move this train along. On to round 3 for Audrey.
Round 3, things were looking a little better.
Okay.
Sat down against a team. Like ourselves, they were there to have fun and just have the experience.
There we go.
I played against Macross. The whole I'm putting 7 different climaxes in my deck, and he definitely struggled with it a little bit. There was one key point where he didn't have the right climax in his waiting room to make his other climax count.
Yeah.
But my deck really got a chance to shine at this point. I managed to get out 3 Akanes at 9/5, swinging for 3 and 4 soul, and it's sticking. And he can't do anything about it because he couldn't get big enough. Okay, he would get one of them with his 2-0 on the combo, and I just play another one out.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, true, because you are swinging it like with just the 2. Because you said you're putting
back row.
Yeah, so you have like an open lane.
Actually, during that game, I put down 3. I smelled that he was in climax trouble, and I slammed. I had 3, so my Akane was swinging for 4 soul base.
That's fair. Because otherwise, you have the 2-0 that, because when it does its combo, if it swings to an open lane, it can still do it, if I remember correctly. So that was the better call.
He got I think he got to 9/5 somehow, which tied me, and so we could both take each other out.
Okay, yeah, I think it still goes off.
It was a
lot
lot easier. I was more set up just to drop another one and go and go for more. The game, I think I still would have won it anyway, but he definitely helped me out at one point when he mismathed my climax to card ratio and used the combo to send everything back to the deck.
Oh, okay.
That actually bailed me out from a possible two level 2 to dead.
Gotcha.
Because he put like 3 climaxes back in 10 cards. And I'm like,
yeah, that's that was.
You're having a bad day, and suddenly something goes in your favor. And at that point, I lived, and I'm like, well, yeah, 3 Kanas, climax, let's go.
I finally get to slam down the combo.
Yes, it was the first time I got to play Kanas, and I killed him on the first Kana.
There you go.
So
perfect.
That was a good moment.
we have our first W for Kana. She's not throwing a tantrum now. So, alrighty.
Oh, more tantrums are to come. More tantrums are to come.
Oh, yeah.
One thing I want to take a minute to say, because at this point, when you start at these big events, for anybody who's listening to this and go, well, I don't want to go because I don't have the best deck, or, I'm not that great of a player. Well, to be honest, and I don't want to mean this offensively, but a lot of people who come to these events are very casual people.
Yeah.
Or they're just starting out and they're going for the experience. And one thing that happens, the more you lose, the more fun people are to play with.
Oh, 100%.
It was a very different atmosphere. Our round 2, those guys were out to and I'm not saying this is a slam. More power to them. I'm glad to hear they made the top 8. They were out to murder their opponent, which is great. When I was a competitive player, that would have been my mentality as well. Mm-hmm. But when you're going for casual, 0-2 actually isn't that bad, because at that point you're out of it. You can just go, and you start playing really fun people who are goofing off and doing weird things.
Yeah, the stress is kind of off of you at that point.
So I kind of want to take this team is a really good situation of this. They were the B team for their locals, just like we were the B team for our locals. Mm-hmm. And Ben's opponent is going to really personify this, but they were really fun to play with.
That's good.
I sat and talked with them for a couple minutes after the match and during the free play time, and this is where you go for when things start going south, you can really start having fun. And this is where that started to kick in for us. So I kind of want to just take a minute and grandstand a little bit, or whatever we want to call it. So, soapbox, get on the soapbox, and just say, if you're really thinking about, well, maybe I shouldn't go to teams, I don't want Nikkei to kill me, I don't have anything to deal with mine, that's fine. Go take your lumps in the first 2 rounds and go play with the fun people.
Do it.
You're gonna have a great time with it. Just something. It's whenever some of my most fun of these big events have been some of my worst days.
Mm-hmm.
No, and this one, I had a pretty rough day, but there are a lot of things I can look back to and say I had a lot of fun doing this.
There you go.
At another point, I'm going to bring up something else that I kind of shifted into a different kind of mode. Where at this point, I'm salty. But I'm trying to hide it under putting up and being nice and being outgoing and personable.
Eventually, the salt kicks in.
The salt was kicking in real bad at this point. It really came out in the next round. But you can really, really, really start having fun. And, I just kind of want to say, hey, if you're hesitant to go because you're scared of that, it's not fun when Mai just takes her finger and stomps you into the floor.
No, that's very true.
You may play the guy in the next round who's playing Macross Plus all foil and showing you really cool cards and doing really stupid stuff, and you're going, what?
Shiny cargo, what?
All right, I'm going to get off my soapbox and give it to Ben.
You're good. Pachi. Anyway. Now, I got you. All right, so we're going on to Ben for your round 3.
Yeah, round 3, I ended up against Dero Oshinoko player.
Ah.
They were doing 8 choice.
Oh, how the turns have tabled.
Unfortunately, she was a pretty inexperienced player.
Ah.
So she was leaving. She had a lot of turns where she was attacking with like one person. One attacker, leaving cards in the back row instead of moving things up to attack. And so when the game kind of drags on long like that, I get a lot of chances to stand by out Nene's.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting. So even though I'm only at level 1 and she's at level 3, I still have 3 level 3 Nenes on the board.
Yeah, you're able to establish and just got you.
Yeah, and then she just wasn't really able to do anything about it. And that I won that one pretty easily.
Gotcha. No, that's very fair, and you gotta take your lumps eventually, but it does suck.
It's just somebody inexperienced, and that's what happens when you're inexperienced.
It's all good. I have a story another day. I'm not gonna tell it now, but a story of something very similar happening at my first Duluth. This is before it was Duluth. Back in Atlanta, one of my first Atlanta regionals. Something similar happened, but that's a story for another day. All right, so we have 2 wins already. So, curious as to how this ended for Tony for his 3rd round then.
At just a 1K1 versus 1K1 game. I came up against Watame Marine. Not a typical deck. It's a deck I ran back when Hololive first came out because I like cigarettes combos.
Mm-hmm.
The Watame level 1 choice combo is a cigarettes combo.
Yeah. It's not bad, just the thing.
But I mean, Rio is better than Marine, so that's all I'll say. I mean, I like Marine, I do, but as a character, a VTuber, but the Rio does the exact same thing throughout the card, and is the exact same card except she is after attack and does an extra damage, burns 3 instead of burns 2.
See, with that,
the Marine is still really good, but with Slime gone, the decks that I'm going to go against that are going to give me a problem with an at the end of attack, combo are far fewer than they were before.
I was going to say, the main one you'd have to worry about would be like Nikkei, right? Because we had a guy at the Nikkei Meister Cup I went to where he showed up with Bochi. He's like, yeah, I don't get any wins technically because I'm not running Nikkei, but like I still want to play. And everyone's like, yeah, sure, you can still play. But his combo was that with the Rio, but because it's at the end of attack, he was every Nikkei person he was able to he was playing against was able to buff up their Alices that can bounce stuff back to hand on reverse. And it's just like, cool. Or not hand, I'm sorry, top of deck. I misspoke. So he's like, the first round I was like sitting next to him, he realized that. And he was like, oh, I literally can't even do my combo because you're just going to send it back to the top of the deck and the opponent's sitting across from him. Yeah. So I don't know if that's something you ever came up against was with Nikkei. What other decks would have been a bad matchup for that?
I mean, Suba would have been back in the day, but I don't think that's a relevant factor anymore.
Sadly, no.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, if you're playing Bochi properly, those Alices come out at level 2, and I'm killing them at level 2. I'm putting out the Rio early play and the Kita early play, and I'm getting swings in 12, 13, 14, 15K.
Okay.
And, generally they're dead on my turn, or I'm swinging in a different lane because, you don't always get triple Rio. The world doesn't work quite that well.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I want double Rio plus the Kita so that the Rio is not too small. And that's one of the places where the 2-1 Dinosaur Bochi is really, really good. If somebody drops an Alice on the board, okay, they're going to be dead when I drop my 2-1. Or they're going to be dead once I drop my Kita in my early play and I just wipe their board. It's gets to the point where sometimes it just doesn't really matter. At the same time, what did I do with? There was one player. If I can find the deck. Oh, come on, where is it? Either way, this specific game. Yeah, it was just another 1K1 versus 1K1. I came out on top because I was hitting on my eat skis, Bochis, constantly. I always had what I wanted. I got my 2 brainstorms out early, so I had my plus to 9 total hand, and it was just, it was pretty easy.
It's that meme of corporate needs you to find the difference between these 2 cards. Holds up Eatski, holds up Bochi. They're the same card.
Pretty much. Wow. But at the same time, there's a deck I was thinking of, and one of the big things to do with Bocchi, and I noticed there's a bunch of people not playing it. There is a 1-0 yellow Rio.
Mm-hmm.
You play that, and you can remove a trait from a character.
Yeah.
If you remove the Nikke trait from a character, Alice can't top deck anymore.
Oh, because they all have to be
Power
Nikke.
and the power and the top deck comes from everything being Nikke trait.
Gotcha.
And so I've seen a lot of Bocchi decks without that card for some reason. I don't understand why. I did use that. I don't think I used it in my Nikke matchup, but I did use it the day before, I think, in a casual game.
Okay.
Yeah, this particular matchup, yeah, like I said, it was 1K1 versus 1K1. I was doing everything I had to do. He was doing okay, but I think he had a really, I want to say, an iffy choice going into his last deck that just let me just wipe him out with Rio.
I gotcha. All right, so we have the first triple win here for round 3. So, hell yeah. Love to see it. Alrighty. So I'm as I'm saying this, I'm also like looking over like the matchups and stuff, and just like, because like I said, I'm writing them down. Future me might post it at the end of this. I don't know. Just like bam, my shitty handwriting. But okay, so we're going into round 4. We are going to try to, which I don't mind the yapping. It's take as long as y'all want. It's all good. So round 4, for Audri.
Round 4 was probably the worst one for the Salt.
Yes. We had the prelude.
I will acknowledge that. I was trying to hide it as best I could, but by this point, I'm sitting at 1 and 2. And I sit across from Hello Happy World.
Bang Dream.
Now, the Hello Happy World does a lot of things. It's really underrated and underappreciated. And sometimes I have just seen that deck do miraculously crazy things. And this was one of the games that really slapped my deck in the face for where its holes are.
Okay.
If you've noticed, I've talked about building the same board every game. 2 characters in the back row that pump, as many of those characters in the front row.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I have the board built, I have to tear down the board to play things like a brainstormer to mill cards.
Oh, okay.
It's very negative, and to be honest, I run my hand down so low that I don't have the liberty to put cards into play, because I have to build my hand up, go find draw in the kanas, play events to go find kanas, place, try to find the cards the clock to get to the experience 6. So my hand is always really tight, and you don't want to be. I don't have the hand to, because I'm not playing a plus combo at 1. My plus combo is my character's living.
Okay.
So, and I'm not playing a pulsing brainstorm because my character's living are making up for that fact. So that's a major problem, and it really reared its head here because I couldn't mill out of the deck. A lot of decks will like play a level 1 combo that looks at 4, and you play some brainstorms, and I'm refreshed, I'm good. I don't have that liberty.
Gotcha.
And
the deck speed isn't there.
The deck speed is non-existent. It's gone. It isn't there. If I'm going to maintain board. But if I don't maintain board, the fact that I don't play level 1 combo really rears my head. Add to that the deck runs into, it is a 2-soul deck. You live by 2 soul, you die by 2 soul.
Yeah.
And by die by 2 soul, that means you're sitting at 3 while your opponent's at 1 because he triple canceled you every turn.
Gotcha. Yeah. Know them days.
And both of those converged at the same time. So, needless to say, I didn't do much that game.
Got you.
It was stuff that I was aware of with the deck. I played it enough to where I'm aware with it. But until that day, it hadn't reared its head that bad. This deck has gotten me into Japanese nationals. I qualified with Japanese nationals with it. It had a winning record in singles. Just its holes. There are big holes in it that I've known about, but I never really figured out a fix. And to be honest, man, how do I want to word this? I don't take English events as seriously as I should. I don't like losing. I hate losing. I'm formerly a super competitive Magic player and things of that nature. And it is sometimes hard to just turn it off and play casual.
I get it.
And sometimes you just get really lazy and you're like, whatever, I honestly walked into that expecting to go 500. I'm like, I'll just show up and I'll go 500. Without a terrible attitude. Totally, I'll throw myself under the bus for any of you guys in the comments. Probably not the best attitude to have walking in, but I really wasn't trying to win. So the deck had flaws. I just had never seen them exploited and coming up as bad as they did, in that game or across the day. Because there were multiple times where I would be stuck with like 5 cards in deck, no climax. Yeah. No way to mill it out. That kind of stuff was happening left and right. But it had never really come up before, so I didn't worry about it. And needless to say, hello, happy world. The main card of that is a girl named Kokra who jumped from a 2-story window and did a backflip on the ground in the anime. Without hurting any of her body.
It's the most accurate thing in the world. That's the problem.
So the deck operated like that, and needless to say, it was a very, very ugly loss.
Got you. Hello Happy doing Hello Happy things.
Yep.
All right, so moving on to Ben for your round 4.
Yeah, it didn't go well for Audri, and didn't go well for me either.
Oh no.
I ran into the meta bunny girl.
Gotcha.
And that was around that Nene and Polka decided not to play well.
They did not. They just didn't want to behave. Nene is a bit of a troublemaker. Let's be real.
Yeah, and Polka can be too. And I went from like 0 to 2 with no standbys for Polka. And it just was not working well for me that game. I got my butt handed to me pretty well.
It do happen. Alrighty. Sag, any...
I mean, not really anything special going on that one. I was just, the deck wasn't running. I wasn't getting my standbys. And, he had his stuff. I think he killed me with his level 3s. But, if I got to that point, that was just kind of a miracle in of itself.
Alright, so that is just one of those just sad, but it happens rounds. I got you.
Yeah, you play it, but, Weiss happens.
Gotcha. Alright, moving on then to Tony for your round 4.
Meta as hell.
Oh no.
Played Modernia Biscuit.
Gotcha.
As usual, the deck didn't do anything crazy against me. Has decent level 0s. The Modernia level 1 is a really, really good card. The set has a really crazy good spread of 2s that don't always work properly. Or you don't know what to clock and when out of the 2s. The main issue with it is that, I mean, it just doesn't matter. This was the one. I think he had two of the Modernia Icy Tails on the board. I think it was 2 of the Modernia Icy Tails on the board and an Alice at level 2. He never put a Biscuit on the board. The previous turn, he did 6 soul the event counter me.
Gotcha. The trial deck
Yeah,
thing.
and the turn before that, and then he did that, and so he was 3-3, 3-4, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get a level 3 turn. I ate. This was the game I ate 13 when I had 7 in deck.
Damn.
The first Icy Tail hit 0, but his swing hit. The second swing hit. The third Icy Tail.
Oh yeah, because the Midjourney is an Icy Tail. Yeah.
Yeah, the third Icy Tail hit and the swing hit, and I just ate a massive amount of damage for no reason again.
Bless you.
Yeah, it's there's a thing you have to deal with these days. The issue with Bochi is that you either get a ton of hand or you don't get any hand. You don't have a ton of selectivity in how you build your compression in your deck. And so, sometimes with Bochi, you're just crazy compressed because you constantly have 9, 10 until you ditch down 11 cards in your hand, and you have a decent amount of stock because you don't, it's late level 1, early level 2, you stop brainstorming because you always have hand, or you die. I think that was the game. I never had more than 4 cards in hand.
Ugh.
Weiss just kept happening.
Yeah.
It was ugly. It was not fun at all. The player knew how to play the deck. Didn't do anything really special. The deck just did what the deck does.
This is an interesting setup, though. I'm like, okay, meta Nikkei, meta Mai, hello Happy World. I'm like, this is an interesting team. Okay. So.
Well, to be fair, if you've seen my records at our locals, Hello Happy World is an extremely meta deck. I've done stupid ass stuff with multiple Hello Happy World decks since I've started playing Weiss. The funny thing is, depending on what you either have, multiple early play healers or multiple early play killers with Misaki, or like my favorite deck, I'm just slamming 2 souls every turn, and I have a bunch of level 0s that can also be 2 soul beaters and just pound people into the ground.
Just push the damage, turn cards sideways, make it stick. No, that's.
Accelerate the game state. That's what Weiss is these days. Accelerate the game state.
Pretty much. Okay. Alrighty. So that is round 4. So we're going into round 5. So Audri, you're round 5.
Okay, round 5. Played an Overlord deck that had a standby trigger, a door level 1, and pants for the level 3 game.
Pants for the level 3? What was?
Yeah, some dude with a white face mask that looked similar to the mask in Slime, art style wise, and it was a really interesting build, and it was. The wall came up. The wall did its thing. I pushed a lot of damage on him. At one point, I was like 2-6, but again, like we discussed earlier, the deck doesn't have a way to clock to 3.
Yeah.
So I healed down to 5, but I think he was at like 3-3 or something. And again, 3 Kanas, climax combo, ready to go.
Yeah.
And he plays 2 of his level 3 finishers, YOLOs it, I eat it all and die.
Damn. I'm gonna have to look at that. I'm gonna have to look up that level 3 later because my brain is just blanking right now. But it's whatever.
It's like pitch to, pay to, burn, and some other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Future me if you want to toss it up on the screen.
It was a really interesting deck. The ingenuity of it was pretty awesome.
It didn't have much goblins.
disappointing to lose to it, but still pretty awesome to see.
That's fair. That's fair. You were saying, Tony?
It didn't have a bunch of goblins in it, did it, Audrey?
It wasn't the. She said like the white mask thing.
His choice card was the 2/1. And then the level 3 was like, I think, one of the hero characters, if I remember correctly. I haven't seen the show, but I'm thinking it's one of the hero characters.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah. Future me, get on that.
I was sitting there because I sat down going, "Oh crap!" Because he was all out with Albedo. His Albedo stuff looked like my Uma stuff for that day. So I'm like, I'm either going to get anti-burned to death or my board's going to blow. And I'm sitting there thinking, which one is better? Which one hurts me less? As I'm drawing my hand.
Which one are you less salty at this point?
Right. And then it turns out to this really, what? Now, I'm trying to watch all of his plays, and it's like, what is he doing? Well, he's obviously kicking my ass, but
But that's beside the point. It's more of like, but
I really appreciated the ingenuity of it.
I mean,
again, sad that I lost, but impressed that this is what got me.
You're sitting there going, okay, my ass is getting kicked, but I'd like to know what shoe is being used, please. Like what?
Right.
Okay.
I didn't lose until he had his YOLO level 3 turn. He even goes, I think I'm just going to YOLO, and I'm like, yeah, you probably should.
you never want to hear people say that in Weiss. Like, yeah, I'm just going to YOLO. Like, oh fuck, okay, I'm dead.
But again, it was actually another situation where I couldn't knock down my deck down.
Yeah. Okay.
I couldn't refresh the deck, and I knew I was in trouble. But I was hoping to heal down, because I healed down to 2-5 or 2-4 that turn with a Memcho, which is really odd that I'm playing a Memcho out of hand. Usually they're just level experience fodder. But I played one out healing down because I knew how bad the situation was in the climaxes, hoping that extra damage would give me the turn to just drop the 3 Kanas and roll. Yeah. But it did not.
Did not. All right. Got you. All right. So we're going to... I'm gonna have research to do on that on that deck in a little bit here. So, all right. So, Ben, you're round 5.
Yeah, round 5. I ended up against Blue Archive.
All right, we got BA.
I'm thinking it was just a trial deck, to be honest.
You know what? Respect to it. I'm okay.
You say that, but then it's like you play against it and you just don't have a...
their trial deck was, honestly, the Blue Archive trial deck was not bad by comparison to some stuff.
That's what Audrey was saying when I told her afterwards. Is it's like, I went okay. The game was going okay for me, but he just had a really good canceling game. He had a good canceling game, and my level 3 Nenes weren't hitting that game.
You could
so
not.
If Nene doesn't hit on her burn, her mill to burn, then it gets you're just kind of swinging for 2s or 3s.
Yeah, if it doesn't do anything else for the that's fair. That's fair. Okay.
And then he got his 3s out and he clock kicked a couple of my Nenes.
Yeah.
Which is really annoying because they usually don't die. They get an encore from her. From me having enough cards of memory.
And then you're like, oh, cool, I can just encore them back. And I think it's Hina.
Yeah, and once they go off the board, I lose that damage scry also.
Oh, that's so true too. Oh, no.
So but, if he's getting them over, I think he had them over like 15, 16K.
Yeah, they can pump.
If I only had one back row assister out, and my counters aren't that big.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of at that point, there's not much I can do about it. So you start clock kicking my Nenes. And then I'm kind of that kind of hurts me.
That do hurt. I got you. All right. So
I end up losing that one.
Damn. Okay. Yeah. No. Blue Archive.
That's a great answer to Nene. That's an amazing answer to Nene.
It's like, what?
Unfortunately, it's it's just a trial deck, but it's got the right answer for what I was doing.
Huh. All right. Another score here for Blue Archive Trial Deck. I've heard nothing but like fun stuff about it. I need to work on it. I have them. I just haven't messed with them. All right. So, damn. All right. So then we're moving on to Tony's round 5.
I don't remember this one.
Don't remember?
They've told me I played Nikkei. I don't remember playing another Nikkei deck though, so I can't. I have no idea what happened in this round.
I was gonna say, was this the game you just said I'm done and didn't even finish because they had already beat us both?
Yeah, I think so.
Because it was coming close to time and we had already lost the round, so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was extremely pissed off about things that were happening to me for no reason, and I just said screw it because I did win the next round. So yeah, this is probably the one where it was over and I was like, just no, done.
Hey, that's fair. I've had days like that myself. That honestly makes it for an easy section here, so no worries. All right, so the last round, round 6. So we are moving on to Audri for your round 6.
Okay. I'm going to get my little soapbox out and I'm going to stand on it.
Hold on. No, you're good. You're good.
At this point in the tournament, if you're having a bad day, you're playing a lot of people who are either really having a bad day and you both are just putting on a smile and trying to get through the last round. But honestly, a lot of those people drop. Yeah. Where I'm the goofball who's like, I've got to play every round because I showed up.
Get your money's worth.
Actually, I kind of yell. But again, this creates a new opportunity. And our opponents were, I'm pretty sure, fairly new. I'm pretty sure fairly new. You know, I can't specifically call it. And you get a chance at that point when you've been around for a while to turn into teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, coaching and helping. And that's kind of where my day went. You know, after the Overlord loss, I kind of like, all right, I don't want to end on a loss. Deep breath, breathe, calm down, you know, ponder how great Palmer is, try to put a smile on my face, and, you know, try to salvage the last game, but try to make the most of it.
Mm-hmm.
So for me at this point, the tournament turned into play the last round and then teach. I did a lot of teaching during the casual play stuff. A lot of teaching. And it's amazing just how the simple things like pushing a third character up, people just don't know it.
Exactly.
You know, I ended up this particular team, I think it was Ben's opponent. I ended up playing a game with her and like hanging out with her for about an hour, teaching her how to play Oshinoko. You know, and I played all 3 members of this team between during free play. And the guy I'm going to talk about that I played against, he was the first person I played in free play because I gave him a run back because of how this game went. It was wild. But I would encourage anybody who's, you know, been around. I know you're having a rough day, but you can make yourself feel better and you can make other people, you know, plus if you're just willing to suck it up, put a smile on your face or try to. I know it's really hard. And, you know, go out there and try to help the people when you start seeing things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's one of my takeaways from the game when a day like Sunday happens and everything goes to crap. At least I got to meet fun people. I played some really fun games. I taught some people how to, you know, hopefully taught them how to be better. You know, the girl with the Oshinoko deck, you know, I ended up doing a whole how to play Oshinoko. You know, laughing at myself the entire time because my deck had a bad record, but she was really intrigued by what it did because what she saw it do in the regular rounds.
Yeah.
Or in the round that, you know, she was sitting beside. You know, and that's a really, if you can do it, you know, if you're like too far gone on the salt, which does happen, we're all human, you know, get yourself out of there, go get dinner.
There you go.
But if you can pull yourself together enough, there's a really good opportunity to meet some really fun people, you know, do the free play, you know, you'll run into some casual people who, you know, they're waiting around because their other friends are in the top cut, you know, something like that. And a lot of times those folks really could use somebody to sit down and go, hey, at level 3, when you have 2 Kanas out, push up a third card from your back row and play a climax. You know, and explain why you would do that.
Exactly.
I mean, it sounds like such an obvious thing, but it's amazing how often I see that being a concept people just don't get at these big events, at the lower tables.
I get it, and there's a mentality with some of that of like, oh, but this isn't the attacker, this is an assist. I'm like, no, everything's an attacker. If you
right, remember everything has a soul rating, and it can be turned sideways for a stock.
Exactly.
Or you don't have to side attack everything because you're scared of it. Crash and make them swing big. Oh
yeah,
things like that. But so I kind of want to just take a second, just kind of put that out there for everybody. The more experienced players that are going to listen to this, who are just having a rough day. I get it. I was there, but it gave me a chance to turn my day around and actually say hey, yes, I sucked, but it was a positive. I could say I enjoyed the trip. Sure, I'm mad at Bushiroad for not giving me a Ruby because I really wanted that card. Sure, I'm mad I ate 4 losses. But, okay. Yeah. I at least did some good while I was there, and I could walk away with a win. That's for me, that was a positive that I could walk away from.
There you go.
If that makes any sense.
To the more experienced players, if you're having a bad day, skill issue. No, kidding. Sorry, go ahead.
I would say it was.
No, you're good.
I brought a deck that had holes, pretty big holes in it that I didn't acknowledge, and that I probably could have found something better. I could have played Quince. I do have Quince playing around, even because I have Quince, Hololive, Oshinoko. I could have played Quince. But the game was wild in this round.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we know what I'm doing. We're sitting there, we're making these 9/5 Akanes with stupid amounts of soul.
Yeah.
Well, my opponent was Dragon Maid, and he was making 1/0s with a bar climax that makes lots of soul. I don't remember exactly how he did it, but his 0 got stupid amount of soul because of a back row card.
Okay. I have to research Dragon Maid again too.
And
okay.
it was on a 1/0, and it was on the 1/0 climax combo that you would play anyway, the bar. Somehow I don't remember the cards. I apologize, and I never played the set myself, so I don't know all the cards. But basically, we were both swinging for 4 and 5 soul. We were both also climax screwed. Our game took 5 minutes.
Does it? What the fuck? Okay.
And we both knew the other was climax screwed.
Okay.
So it was hold nothing. I'm playing at level 1. I think I had 2 Kanas and the I climax combo in the center row, and I went ahead and lit the climax combo despite swinging for 4 with the Akanes. Plus triggers.
Huh. Okay.
Our game was over in like 5 to 7 minutes. And basically, I held up a little better. I think I was less climax screwed. And, Kanas came out and did their thing and cleaned up the mess afterwards. I had just enough to go and get it done. So that was a win, but what a game.
I love, like...
Said something like the match of, this is what I do to people? This is terrible.
It's like, this is like you were getting a taste of your own medicine. It sounds like. Now you're good.
But it was fun. It was really fun. It was the D-Gen. It was like the D-Gen game of the century.
There you go. That I apparently need to do research into Maid Dragon more. So
I think we both went from 0 to 2, if I remember correctly. Or no, I played 1, so it was like early 1 to mid 2 or something like that. And I think he went 0 to 2. It was wild.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Well, can we make it much wilder?
He did get me. He did get me on the run back in the casual play. He was my first casual play game. He got me in the run back. So we ended 1-1. Stupidity ensued. It was a blast.
He honed in on you. Was just like, all right, run it back. Just okay. All right, so we have very wild round 6 so far. So Ben, what was your round 6?
I mean, mine is somewhat anticlimactic because I already knew a lot of my games, mine ran longer.
Mm-hmm.
So I already knew that that my game didn't really matter for anything.
Ah, gotcha.
I ended up playing Spy X Family.
Oh, Spy. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was like a your build.
Yeah, it was your red green. Was mainly your.
We love to see it.
Yeah. It was a pretty close game overall. I don't remember all the details of it, but he was ahead. I did all my Nene stuff. I think I knocked her to 3-5. I had a couple of burns that went through, but it's kind of an average game for Nene. She was at 3-5. Now that was important because it was on her turn. These weren't very experienced players again. Because I have a counter in my deck that lets me burn one. When I do my counter, I can burn my opponent. So she had drawn for the turn and clocked herself to 3-6 without the knowledge of that counter in my deck.
Ah, I got you.
Now, I unfortunately did not have it in my hand, but it was a teaching moment for her afterwards when I walked through. But unfortunately, I did end up losing that one.
Hey, it happens. I am trying to remember the backup specifically.
There's a Nene 2-1 counter.
Yeah. I'm okay. Yeah, I remembered it. My brain was like trying to. I'm like, I know it exists. I just couldn't get the picture in my head, and now I remembered the picture. Okay.
Yeah, it's a 2,500 counter, and if you have 3 or more cards in memory, you can pay 1 to burn. Burn 1.
There you go. It's always fun if when that does like work out, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kill you on your turn. Just pop.
Yeah, people do not expect that on their own turn.
They do not.
You turning around and burning them.
Nani? I thought that was wild when Nino ended up getting like a backup that did something similar. Like if all of your characters are Nino, you could pay a cost to burn it's like 1 or 2, I forget.
It's burn 1.
I'm sorry?
It's burn 1.
Is burn 1? Okay, cool. I just remember seeing that. I was like, this is funny. This could I would be the person trying to make this happen. But gotcha. Alright, so then to round out the whole 9 yards here, we have Tony with your round 6.
I don't remember everything about it. I came up against 8 Pants Freerun.
Ooh, okay.
I do remember the first thing I did when we sat down and I saw what I was playing against. I threw my deck case on his playmat because my deck case was actually the Mimic from Freerun.
Okay.
It's a small little bag that looks like the Mimic from Freerun that holds. I can put some deck boxes in.
That's funny. I like that.
The main thing I remember is that I thought he didn't run enough climaxes. I don't remember seeing one of the My Little Sheet or not climaxes events.
I'm about to say, hold on, what?
I don't remember seeing one of the the My Little Cheeto with the de-leveling of 2-0 event.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing those at all. And I think there was only one of the red counter event. I think it was a draw, if I remember correctly.
Think so?
I think he was running only 1 or 2 of the trial deck brainstorm. It just seems like an odd deck build to me. But at the same time, Freerun is an extremely 8 Pants is an extremely, let's say, simple 1K1 deck. It's not. You don't have to count as many things as you do on, let's say, Danmachi for an event 1K1 1K1 deck. it's just do your thing, keep going. And Freeman did its thing, it did its thing. It didn't really matter because I knew it was going to be burning 4, so I just focused on compressing my deck for half the game. I think he got. I don't remember if it was. I think he actually got triple free run, and I think I canceled 4 or 5, and then I did my Bochi thing, and he just died. I felt at the time he knew what he was doing, and he wasn't like a bad new player, quote unquote. I think it might have been his deck build that was the issue there.
Okay.
Especially if he had, I don't remember seeing more than maybe one of the 3-1 event. That event can really destroy decks that are trying to compress against your burn 4. Because it puts your stock into your deck, and then you get your stock back out of your deck. If I'm building 10 or 12 clean stock, and you put that in, there's a good chance you're putting a few climaxes back into my stock. And for a burn 4 deck, that could just be make or break.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to picture all of it as well. I'm assuming, it may have just been like I said, a build issue type thing, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure he had 4 of the the old Goblin Slayer Torch, the counter look at top 4 event. I think he may have only had 1, maybe 2 of the 1/1 red event. I didn't see any of the 2/0 event, and maybe 1 of the 3/1 event.
Remember to run your events, kids, if you are in free run. So. No, all right. So we have the entire breakdown, and other than the 1 round of for gore, it doesn't look like there was any overlap in terms. I mean, there was one person played a Nikkei deck, then another person played a Nikkei deck. But in terms of the individual lanes, it's it doesn't look like anybody played against the same thing more than once. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool. I do like that.
Well, again, once you start going down the hill a little bit, you get people with different motivations coming to the tournament. They're playing their favorite decks instead of what we all probably should be playing.
What should and what is played are two different stories when it comes to teams.
Exactly.
So
I mean, I should have took Nino. To be honest, I should have took it. If I was going in to go smash heads and take names, I probably should have took Nina. But
Kana was calling your name that day.
The night before, I was a millimeter away from putting in my deck code for my Hendrickson deck.
That is the breakdown for Give Me Horse Girls or We Riot for Rosemont. Oh my goodness!
They did not give us Horse Girls, by the way, so we owe a riot.
Yeah, I'll say the title was my idea, the one good idea I've had in 2025. So,
I mean, they gave it to us in the form of a gotcha.
A lot of bad ideas. That was my one good idea this year.
It's that's the one we are claiming is the good idea.
It was interesting though, because a lot of people agree, that we were sitting around and we were talking and they noticed our supplies and everything, and it's a lot more people want it than I thought did.
I would love for it. That
was really encouraging, actually.
I would love for it to for this which I know it's in Shadowverse or whatever, but I like in English Shadowverse, but I would love for the set to come over. But that may be partial bias because of diving headfirst into the gacha game, but that's beside the point. So,
well, that's all we need.
Yep. No.
We need more. We need more sets like that.
We do.
Well, make sure in the gacha game you go in the main screen, go over to the jukebox and turn on Bakushin, Bakushin, Bakushin for the song.
That's not the one. I want them to put the one because I'm watching through Cinderella Grey, and I love at the beginning of it where when Audri wins and it plays that weird little like kind of kabuki style like song or whatever it is that she's dancing to, and the whole crowd's like, "What the fuck is this?" If they don't put
that's a classic Japanese culture, or not culture. What do you call it?
There's like a specific name. There's like a specific name. It's like more of like a classical, like their version of like classical, basically. Like I just think it's one of the funniest things ever. If they don't put that in the game, you know, sorry.
Unfortunately, if they put it in the game, it'll be in the Japanese one, and we'll be a few years out.
Yeah.
The English game is very, very far behind.
This is true, but more talk of gacha games on a different podcast that will be coming up hopefully soon. But we do want to extend our thanks to all three of y'all for showing up. I do greatly appreciate it. Any quick closing thoughts before we round out this episode? Because Rosemont seems like it was a bit of an interesting time from just the results that I'm looking at on this little piece of paper. So.
Well, I want to take a second, give a shout out to the second place team.
Absolutely.
From our locals. I'm very, very proud of them.
Woot.
You know, I know one of them in particular has been trying to break through for a long time, and it was really good to see him finally get that.
Hell yeah.
So I always love seeing my guys do great, and so I'm very, very proud of them. And, you know, if they're listening, I definitely want to say congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and enjoy it.
Hell yeah.
And thanks for everybody for listening. Hopefully you didn't mind my little soapbox talks there, but it's kind of something that I'm pretty passionate about. And honestly, it's really helped my big English event experience.
That's very fair.
It's fixed it gives me, I can kind of tone it down because I know what's going to happen, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't personally do very well if I get myself high pressure and amped up. I fall apart really bad, at least in the last 5 years or so. So, you know, it lets me, okay, yeah, I know what's going to happen. It's fun. It's just the way I was losing this time was a little more triggering than I would prefer.
Hot triggering because you trigger cards and I don't know. Yeah, no. I get that, and don't feel bad about getting up on a soapbox. That's literally what this whole channel is, but that's whatever. So.
If I had to have any final thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
I would get on my soapbox. I would have to say the death of Weiss Schwarz has been very, very overstated. Mainly by certain people among collectors and investors, and I've been a very big voice in going nuts on them in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Weiss Schwarz is actually, it's against all odds, it's gaining steam in the US, which they all seem to think it's not. A lot of people are really down on it. But, you know, I complain about the power creep a lot, but at the same time, the power creep is what keeps the game alive.
True.
I've heard all the stories from Audri and Ben years past where the game was, you know, it was only healing at the end game, or, you know, there was no plussing brainstorms and plussing combos. Half the game you were only swinging 1 or 2 times. You know, the game has to advance, and it is, even if we don't always like the direction it's advancing in.
Mm-hmm.
And fortunately, English finally got a ban list, which is helping a little bit. But yeah, some people might be getting left behind. But honestly, even with how much I bitch about the game, it's just that fun. You know, it's a really fun game. I think it still has a really good design, and the fact that I can play free rent against Batman Ninja, you know, Weiss is not dying in North America.
It's like 7 Deadly Sins versus Woody.
These events that keep getting bigger and bigger over the past few years.
Mm-hmm.
is definitely showing that.
We had 58 teams, by the way. I forgot to bring that up earlier.
Yes.
Yeah, that's 150.
Yeah, we were actually our round 1. We sat at table 29, the very last table.
Ha. Just totally like that. That is totally fine because like for one, Rosemont's like always kind of big anyway. And I agree. I've loved seeing the higher numbers like in the past couple years. All right. Well, so they have stated their soapboxes. Ben, you get to get up on your soapbox by all means. No, you're.
I don't really have much of soapbox.
He's like,
I run the logistics in the background.
He's like, I'm just here. I got my beer. I'm good. No, I got you.
I arrange hotel rooms and do rulings questions.
But we need that. We need those people who do that. So
yeah, it's just more of a just come out and play. It's fun to play. You know, if all you do is collect, this stuff is just sitting there collecting dust. Come on out and give the game a try. It's fun to play.
Exactly.
With that being said, I'm just gonna throw it out there. If anybody's listening, I swear I still have a little bit of good player left in me, and if you need any help with decks or questions, message me on the Discord if you want.
Absolutely.
If you don't want to put it publicly because you're embarrassed, I'm Audri on the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Feel free to message me. I'll do it. If I don't know, I'll try to get in touch with somebody who does.
If you join the base damage Discord, it will be on it would be Palmer's Trainer. This is what her name comes up here.
Palmer's Trainer on the
Discord. You're good. That's what I was sitting here like, do I call her Palmer? Do I say Audrey? Whatever, we'll just go with that. So no, you're good. So look for us talking about horse girls in the Gotcha Cast section. That's whatever.
Yep.
She'll pop up eventually.
And, yeah. Feel free to, shameless plug, feel free to check out my channel. I will put content on there again someday, I swear to God.
Bet, as the kids say.
I mostly do deck videos, and I have a couple deck videos that I'm thinking about.
Don't you have a whole Happy World video?
Yes, I do. And
there you go. So you can go see the stupidity of Hello Happy World.
There we go.
Right now, I'm hoping to get a Kenshin one out because I seem to be the only person outside of Japan who's been able to make Kenshin work. So
yeah, it's really funny. Tony and I took Kenshin to Japanese nationals last year.
And just for those who don't know, what is your YouTube channel?
Weiss King.
Weiss King.
I had a half decent idea at one point. It works two ways. Weiss sacking, like I like to sack, and Weiss King. I'm the king of sacking.
There you go.
A couple people left the area, so yeah. And so I'm gonna try to get an 8-door Kenshin deck video up at some point because that deck is just crazy fun, and it's almost as simple to play as 7 Deadly Sins.
Which is saying something.
Yeah.
Right, that is a bold claim. Put it that way. So, if you can send me a link, I will put the link for it in the description, so you can go check out his channel as well. Most definitely, go check out content, subscribe, like all that, all the stuff that we usually say at the cringy YouTuber things at the end. But no, thank y'all very much for listening, and thank y'all for showing up. I appreciate y'all being here to discuss all the Weiss shenanigans, whether it's win, lose, whatever. It's having fun, the important thing. So,
win, lose, or draw? Are we going back 40 years?
Something like that. Win, lose, draw, double loss, something like that. Nah, you're good. But yeah, no. Like I said, go check out Sacking channel in the description, and if you want to, like I said, if you want to talk Weiss stuff, feel free to join the Discord. Link for that will also be in the description. And we will sign off for now. Y'all stay based.